Plaintiff Philip Stith says when he and the defendant first met, they became friends because Philip liked his sense of humor. However, Philip soon discovered that the defendant was a liar, and he even lied about spending a week at a mansion with 8 strippers. Philip is suing him today for an unpaid loan. Defendant Christopher Flores says he and Philip met at a clean and sober living facility, but he soon realized that Philip was sneaking booze into the facility. Christopher insists he attempted to repay Philip, but Philip refuses to take his money.
Start with you.
Well, we met probably over a year and a half ago, not 2 years. When we first met, we hit it off pretty well. I thought he was kind of an interesting guy, liked his sense of humor. He seemed to like mine. And so we started hanging out together. But after a while...
What type of hanging?
Huh?
What type of hanging out?
Oh, just doing things together. Went over to his sister's house. Would barbecue over there.
No drinking and chasing women?
A little bit of drinking, not a whole lot of chasing women.
Okay. Gambling?
No gambling.
Smoking weed?
No, sir. No, sir.
No, y'all wasn't doing nothing.
It's no fun.
Yeah, what kind of fun y'all having? Just kidding about the smoking part. Go ahead.
Anyway, there's an element of truth to most of what he says. You have to get to know him a little bit to realize that, about 25% of it's true and the other 75% is pretty, a lot of hot air.
He doesn't make 50%. He's not even a 50-50 man. Go ahead.
That'd be stretching it. Anyway, so the thing that really ended our relationship was I'd been trying to get a hold of him for about a week. I'd asked him to come pick me up, and we were going to go run some errands and do some stuff. And so finally, he comes and picks me up. And we're driving down the street, and about the first thing out of his mouth is, well, I spent the last week up at this $2 million mansion with 8 strippers. Well, it was dancers at first, lately it's strippers. And I'd already heard the story on the phone. I wasn't interested the first time. And, at that point, I just told him, I said, you know what, Chris, I don't care.
Whose mansion was he hanging out in?
I have no idea. And where we live, $2 million doesn't really buy you a mansion.
Where's that?
Bay Area, San Francisco Bay Area. It'll buy you a fairly nice house.
Right, $2 million is a 2-bedroom.
Yeah, that's true.
That's true. Let me get some background from you.
Okay, I met Phil at a clean and sober living environment. I took him to some barbecues at my sister's house, and at that time my sister was drinking, and he, had no problem drinking and having a good time, and we all had a good time. And as it went on, we went to a Super Bowl party last year, and he was there, and he got a little drunk, and it came out that he was sneaking booze into this clean and sober living environment. And I backed away from him at that time because I'm clean and sober, have been for 11 years.
Good.
Well, as far as drugs was my problem. I watched my father freebase everything he had in front of me. I grew up, I was a member of the Professional Rodeo Cowboys Association. I rode bulls for a living. I made a living tying myself to large farm animals. That was real. That's what I did for a living. And yeah, I had a lot of women back then, but...
So I was right the first time. Y'all drank and chased women.
No,
Go ahead.
I haven't done drugs.
Y'all don't look
drugs
like the professional networking type. Some folks, like when I hang with my buddies, seriously, my wife, whether she wanted to believe it or not, I would go out and after work and professionally network and...
Right, and have fun.
And I was working for politicians, so I would try to get people to buy fundraising tickets, and you had to go to the bar and drink and chase women to be able to be successful. That's part of the job. Just kidding.
But what he's talking about is I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, sir. Mm-hmm. What he's talking about it's about a $3 million mansion, and there is 8 strippers living there, and I hung out there for like 3 or 4 months, and I did work for the owner on several of his properties, rental properties, and that's real. There's my girlfriend. Okay, this guy has hit. This guy has hit on 3 of my sister's friends and my sister. And when that happened, I backed away.
That is total.
You tried to hold the 8 ladies to yourself.
No,
That's
just
what
the
you
one.
meant by he was
No.
selfish.
So basically,
This is terrible.
now.
Terrible, terrible, terrible. What a shame. I'm offended. You get offended.
What I'm saying is I don't talk about, you know, I'm telling you.
Don't quit. I don't mean to show you that type of picture.
It's terrible, isn't it?
I need counseling now.
That's right. Go ahead. So you kept all these 8 ladies to yourself,
no.
and one became a girlfriend.
All we did was throw darts. We had a good time, and I had a good time hanging out there. It wasn't like I was with these 8 ladies. That wasn't.
That's not what he said.
I never said that.
He said, I was up there with 8 strippers.
No, I was staying at a mansion where there was 8 ladies hanging around.
And how did that break up your friendship?
I just got tired of hearing it. You know,
I'll tell you how it broke it up, because I'm the one that did it.
How?
He called me. He told me I was a chronic liar, and that everything that came out of my mouth was. And I was taking him to do some errands because he doesn't have a car and he doesn't drive. Okay. And so I pulled over at that point and I said, "Get out of my car. I want nothing more to do with you."
Just because he said you were lying about the women.
Whoa.
No, it had nothing. No, it had to do with the fact that I'm doing him a favor.
But you said the reason you did it is because he was calling you a liar. We have to get to the loan you're suing about.
He said I was a chronic liar and that I was. What else did you say that day?
I never got that far to tell you that.
because I kicked you out of the
told
car.
you that I didn't care, and that I was tired of hearing about these things, and that I had been trying to get in touch with you, and I was tired of hearing you talk out of both sides of your neck.
Okay, all right.
Now, I do believe that you're a chronic liar. I just didn't say it at the time.
Okay,
you
let's
told me
get
that.
to the
But
loan.
Now this coming from a guy who's sneaking alcohol into a clean and sober living environment.
Okay, can we get to the loan you're suing him for? How does he owe you for the loan? And by the way, I might agree with you on that lot. Those pictures were from a magazine. That ain't your girlfriend.
No, that is no
from
magazine.
a magazine.
No, it ain't.
I've seen them.
No, you haven't. Now,
Go ahead, sir.
those pictures were taken from this phone.
All right, so I'm just having fun.
I think the one thing that you can see is that anything that has to do with moving a lot of hot air, he is good at.
Loan. Let's talk about this $125 loan.
Okay, so it was around, I think it was January time frame. I loaned him $125. And I wasn't in a big hurry for it or anything. I just told him, when it was convenient, that he could pay me back. So we had this falling out, which had nothing to do with the money. And at that point, I thought, well, we need to tie up loose ends. So I asked him, I didn't even say I want my money back like tomorrow. I said, I want to know when you can pay the money back, and this will be the last thing we need to do with each other.
When did he say he would pay you back?
Well, at first he was just saying, well, I'll pay you the money when I get it. And leave me the loan and blah, blah, blah. And I texted him back and I said, you know what, you owe me money. And if I feel like, asking you about it, I'm going to do that, right? So anyway, he sends me these texts, and at first it's like, you'll get it when I get it.
Okay, first let me allow him to give his defense, and then we'll get into your evidence.
Okay.
Okay, on 2 separate occasions, I came to him and offered to pay him.
Let's start with borrowing it. Did you borrow $125 in January?
Yes, he loaned me $125.
When did you say you would repay?
We never talked about that.
Go
Now,
ahead.
on 2 separate occasions, I came to him and said, hey, I'll pay you the money. He said, I don't need it right now. Don't worry about it. That's what he said on 2 separate occasions. Then this falling out, I decided, this guy, I don't want to be around him. I don't like him. He's not the person.
Why didn't you send it through the mail?
What's that?
Why didn't you send it through the mail? You say you didn't want to be around him after the friendship broke down.
And he starts calling me and telling me, talking, saying a bunch of stuff and texting me, and at that point we were fighting, so it wasn't a friendly thing anymore.
Gotcha. So your defense is you all broke up your friendship, therefore you got angry and don't want to pay.
No, my defense is I tried to pay him back twice and he didn't want the money.
Good enough. Is it too late?
It's not too late.
All right, you hear him? It's not too late. You're going in your pocket over there? Yeah, you
I got some money.
All right, break that 125 out. I'm with you now. You talk so big. Yeah, you talking so big. Yeah, I got some money. Well, break that 125 out. What evidence do you have? He says essentially you stop demanding the money and therefore you're waiving the debt. That's his legal defense to interpret what he's saying.
I'm not sure if there were like 2 times, but I know I did at one point indicate that, hey, look, I don't need it right now. And I just said, you know, you can hold on to it for a while. I said, I didn't say I won't take it back.
Okay, you said right now, keep it for a while. Then you decided you did want it, and he responded to your text in what way?
Well, eventually he said, he sent me a text. I hadn't heard from him in a while, and he goes, how much do I owe you? And I said, $125. So he sent me another text, and he said, okay, I get paid on Friday. And the date's here someplace.
Do you have that text? Let me see it.
Yeah.
Please go up. And sir, did you text him assuring payment?
Yeah.
Then you've changed your mind since then.
No, that has nothing to do with it. I was out of town.
It has everything to do with it. If you tell the man, I get paid next Friday, if that's what I owe you, that's what I'll give you.
Right.
Now, what has changed since then?
I was out of town.
You're back now. So, what has changed since then?
Okay, Your Honor, I was out of town. That went on Friday. I went from Vegas. I did another
125 is a judge. He's talking big again. They went from Vegas. There were 10 women in Vegas, right? 8 women in California, 10 in Vegas. I got the point. See, one of them alone, you just 125, which is your judgment. Have a good day,
I don't really have anything to say. This is the last loose string, you know? Just tying it up.
Anything I say to him is a waste of time, so.